Hi everyone, it's been a minute since I've posted content on this page, but life takes you into different directions, and this is the direction that I'm at right now. I'm dealing with clients that I'm a hairstylist, and I deal with clients that have natural hair. So a lot of people that are interested in, taking care of their hair, they come to me to get their hair maintenance. In this video, I had a client who came in. She looks to have about 4B texture, very coily, tight, coily hair that she usually wears in a wash and go, and she's looking for something different. So she came to me to get a silk press. So we're at the first step here. I've sprayed her down with water. I use distilled water in all my clients' hair. And I go in with my hands and do some finger detangling, which you're seeing me do here. It's a very important step. This is the point of the service where clients really grow to trust your ability, is how you actually start detangling their hair. So I'm using a detangler brush, make sure it's wet, and I'm going through and finger detangling and then going in with the brush to kind of take out whatever knots. And through this, I've learned that the client has extremely damaged ends. This process took forever to do because I was being gentle. She is a first time client and it can be painful. So after this, I'm going to go on to a wash, which unfortunately, just because the setup, I wasn't able to film it, but this is her after her wash. We're going in with a treatment because her hair is really damaged, and I really want to give it some strength and just hydrate it as well. I went in with a reconstructor, a hydrating treatment, and also I added a little bit of hydrolyzed rice protein. So I'm going to go ahead and put her underneath the steamer, just give her a little bit of, about 18 minutes under the steamer just to kind of make sure that treatment penetrates into her strands so that when we are doing a silk press, her hair is properly prepped. So this is out of the steamer. I'm going ahead and I'm adding a leave-in conditioner. The leave-in conditioner I'm using is very lightweight, so that it can actually absorb into her strands really well. I then went in with another liquid leave-in that was a little bit more on the creamier side, just to balance it out. So after that, I'm going to go with my tail comb and section her hair. This is a very important step when silk pressing, especially for somebody that has as much damage on her ends as she does. Now, you would never want to go into this where you just start taking a comb and just start combing it through, because her ends are that damaged that it's getting stuck in the brush while I'm combing, and even while I'm trying to section her hair out. So I'm going to go with probably about 5 sections on each side. I do it on the left and the right. I'll do one down at the bottom, one midway, another one the top of the crown area, then just above her ear, and two more at the top. 5 or 6 sections I would do for her, because we really have to kind of go in slowly and in small sections. Because her hair is really damaged at the ends, I noticed that it started to dry out really quickly. So this is a method that I use for my clients that either have high porosity hair or extremely damaged hair that just, as you would say, high porosity on the ends because of damage. We went ahead and put a shower cap on, which will buy me some time so that her hair doesn't dry out before I get to the top. So as I'm going through it, it's just really difficult to brush through. We're definitely not going to use the brush to blow out her hair. I'm going to go with a method that I use for most of my clients. The idea is to take at least 70% of the water out of the hair on a lower heat. So that's what you're going to see me do here. This is the stretching method. So I'm just stretching the hair out, creating a little bit of tension. So when, I drop the hair, you'll notice that it actually straightened pretty well without me having to go in multiple times with the brush. The idea is to dry out most of it from the root midway down. I'll leave a little bit of moisture on the ends, and then I'm going to attempt to brush the ends out a bit. In a case like this, I have often from this point, did a little bit of a rough cut on the ends to remove some of that damage, just to make the process a little bit easier. It's bad ends, it needs to go anyways. Why put her through, the pain of trying to brush out those ends when it's obviously getting stuck in the brush? So, we went ahead and I did this in sections. I'm a really good blow dryer, and I really struggled with her hair because of how damaged her ends are. Guys, you must trim your hair every 2 to 3 months to make sure that this does not happen. So although she's been growing her hair, she really hasn't trimmed her hair very often, which is left her with the length, but then length with ends that are severely split and severely damaged. She mentioned that she's starting to see single strand knots, fairy knots, and I was seeing that as I was brushing. It was really difficult to blow dry her hair because of that. From root all the way down, before the ends, her hair is actually really good. It's really healthy. It's just those ends. And this is why you do not, I don't care if you're natural. I've heard on YouTube people say that you shouldn't trim your hair. That's crazy. Especially because she leaves her hair out in a wash and go or a twist out. Her hair is always exposed to the environment. So in Toronto right now, it's extremely cold. So her ends are really getting beaten by the weather. So this is why you can't just let your hair grow out without ever trimming it. You should have a routine that you follow. My clients, I get them in within 2 to 3 months. That way they always have healthy ends and this doesn't happen. So, we're going to just continue forth. It's, a little hard to go through it, but we're just going to continue blow drying. The idea is on a lower heat to remove out at least 70% of the water out of the hair. The hair is now stretched out, so it's going to be easier to get the brush through other than the ends, because you're going to see me fighting again. Look, it was not an easy task. It doesn't look as bad, but when I was doing it, I had to keep taking the brush out. Normally with most of my clients' hair, the brush glides right through all the way to the end and we don't have this issue. But with her, it was just like, her hair was just not having it. I kept checking in with her because I wanted to make sure she was comfortable. She was really comfortable with it. The brush that I use is a really good detangler brush that is not too painful on the client's scalp. But, she was okay with it. She understood. We talked about this in the consultation. I explained that this was a possibility. I asked her if she was tender-headed. She said no. So, we went through it. And I just kept checking in with her to make sure that she was comfortable. And she was fine. She was studying for school. She wasn't even bothered. I think I was more bothered than she was, right? So I just continued to go ahead and continue the process. It was just a really, really long process, but we're going to keep at it. So here we are, and I've gotten her blown out. As you could see, everything from root to mid-strand looks really good, and you could just see how bad her ends are because it's just standing up. It won't even lay flat. Again, when I blow dry, normally the hair is pretty straight and lays. Her hair would just not stay flat because those ends were just saying no. So anyways, we're going to move on to the silk pressing now, the actual straighten. We're going to use a flat iron, and my main goal is clean parting and sections because I want to make this process easy on myself, easy on her. And if you have nice clean parting and clean sections, it makes a world of a difference in terms of how quick you can get through this process. So I always start down at the nape. I do take my time here. I don't use a hot comb or anything. I just use my flat iron. So I get right in there, right close to the root, just to make sure that, everything gets passed by the iron and she doesn't have like thick roots and then her hair looks really, silky at the ends. So here I am just kind of slowly taking my time to get through. I use the tail comb, a carbon tail comb, to do the chase method to ensure that there's tension for one, which is good. and two, that, it's getting a nice even pass. I'm not moving too quickly with this process because the one thing that I'm known for in my city is one pass flat ironing. It doesn't matter what your texture is, I always can get a really good silk press with just one pass. That's it. Most of my clients want to be able to kind of revert back, and this is the way to ensure that you're not going to cause any heat damage. Um, the whole process of doing a silk press, it really starts from the shampoo bowl, the type of products that you use, then to the treatments that you're using, and steam is a major part of it. I don't care who wants to argue in my comment box. If you don't have a steamer and you're doing silk press, you're not doing silk press. You're just doing a basic flat iron, okay? Her hair looks the way that it does because of the treatment, sorry, the wash, the treatment, and also the steam. You've seen what her hair looked like in the beginning. Her texture is really tightly coiled, and look how beautiful and silky her hair is uh, with just one pass. Look at the light that's shining off of her hair. There's little to no products other than a leave-in in her hair, but look how shiny her hair is. That means her hair is clean, it's properly prepped, it's been steamed, it's been blown out the best that it could, and now we're going in with a really good quality flat iron, and we're just doing a one pass, and everything looks really good. Her hair is starting to look much better in terms of healthy, but you're gonna see, like, it, regardless of this silk press, those ends are always going to stay the way they are until they're cut. And just another note, like, if you silk press your hair and you don't actually remove the ends, you're more likely for your hair to start reverting back than if you just cut them off. I've seen this with clients before. You just have to get rid of those ends. They're just trouble, okay? But we're going through it. Her hair looks really, really good. I'm really starting to see what's really going on with her hair. It's her hair is actually very healthy. It just, again, I keep saying it, ends, ends, ends. You got to get rid of them. So here you can see what her ends look like. First, she was really shocked on how long her hair is. You see, shrinkage is a bitch, guys. Like, look at her hair. Her hair is pretty lengthy, but she's got this length and there's no substance at the bottom. It's really bad. It's very sparsy. There's a lot of knots in there. You can actually, on the surface level, see the splits. You can feel it. Yeah, it's just got to go. This is me doing another consult with her, discussing what we're going to be doing. We took a picture of it. I showed her what it looked like. I made her feel the difference between the rest of her hair as she glided her fingers through it, how it felt really, really good. And then as soon as you get to the end, it just was rough, brittle. It wasn't good. Really, really bad ends, guys. Cut your ends. Because this could happen to you where you think that you have this long hair and then here we go, we got to cut it off. So she was okay with the length that we chose. I would have gone a little bit shorter, but she really wants to see her length. She promised to come back in 2 months and get a really good cut the next time. But for now, this is going to work. She's had major issues at home just trying to wash and detangle her hair. And even though we didn't remove everything today, it's enough to make her life a lot easier in terms of washing. She's going to have a much easier time. So I'm just going in and making sure that all areas, we're removing as much split ends and the bad ends as possible. You're definitely feeling it with the comb as you're combing through it. It's gliding a lot better. If you silk press your hair and you use a comb and you've got really bad ends, your comb will have a lot of resistance down at the bottom. And that's like a clear cut way to know, say, that you need to cut your ends. So as I'm combing through it, it's combing through so much easier. The comb is gliding through it. I'm just shaping it up right now, making sure everything's nice and blunt and even. It's already looking 100% better. In fact, there's movement now. When the split ends were there, there was actually like no movement on her hair. So now that we got that all trimmed up, she was pretty happy with it. She just said to me that she still wanted some length, so if I can just put a curl towards the bottom of her hair and not so far up, because she wanted to experience her length for the day, you know what I mean? So I just gave her some really soft curls, just again, maybe halfway through the strands. It's just down at the bottom. She just wanted it really nice and straight at the top. So I'm just giving her what she wanted. And, you know, this was a good service. She was really happy. Like, she was joyful to see her hair. And although it wasn't, you know, what I wanted to do in terms of trimming, I wanted more. This was a good, comfortable feeling for her. She felt good about it, and it's really about what the customers want. You can only educate them, tell them why, and if they choose something different, that's really up to them. They're coming there for a service, and it's your job to educate them, but you know, you do what they want to be done. So anyways, that is the video. I'm going to be posting more videos like this. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the rest of my videos. Have a wonderful day. Bye.